O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, June 27th, 2023, Tuesday. Stand up for your country. So I wrote Killing the Mob, and a lot of that book is about the rise of the FBI, which had to be established by the federal government to control the bank robber gangsters, primarily in the Midwest. And then we carried the FBI through the decades. So they destroyed the Ku Klux Klan. The FBI had a lot to do with the destruction of the mafia power, and we chronicled it all the way through. Killing Kennedy came about because the FBI, some agents, showed me the files they had about the assassination of President Kennedy. So I have been a major league supporter of the FBI for decades, but that is all gone. And I will prove that to you tonight. This is an agency that needs a complete overhaul, not the agents in the field. I've said that 100 times, and I hate to be repetitive, but I always have to say it. But in Washington, D.C., they all have to go. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points Memo. So this is one of the most underreported stories I've ever seen, and I'm sure you have not heard about it. The Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee issued a report yesterday. That committee is chaired by Senator Gary Peters, Democrat, Michigan, Ranking Member Rand Paul, Republican, Kentucky. The report says that the FBI knew about potential danger to the U.S. Capitol on January 6th in advance, but did nothing. Shocking report. Did you hear it on ABC, NBC, CBS? If you did, I stand corrected, and I want to apologize. But I don't think you did. All right? Did you hear it on the cables? Let me know. So now we get into a whole different aspect of the January 6th riot. The FBI knew trouble was brewing because they had assets inside the Proud Boys. All right, the far-right group that can get violent. There were FBI informers there, and the informers alerted Washington that these guys were going to go to D.C. on January 26th, and trouble could happen. And they were specific about it. Here's what the Senate committee released. Quote, at a fundamental level, the agencies failed to fulfill their mission and connect the public and non-public information they received. FBI also did not develop certain tips about January 6th because they were deemed not credible, contrary to FBI policy that requires every tip received to be logged as long as it meets an authorized purpose for investigation, regardless of credibility, unquote. So all that means the FBI buried the story. I know Trump didn't get anything from the FBI because he told me. Okay, he got no warning. But he knew, President Trump at the time, he knew trouble was brewing, so he alerted the Pentagon to have National Guard on alert. We all know that. That's established beyond any reasonable doubt. And that's what'll get him acquitted if the special prosecutor, Smith, brings charges on January 6th. And this report makes that almost impossible, by the way, and I'll get into that in a moment. So the reason that the Guard didn't show up is because Pelosi, who is in charge of Capitol security as the Speaker of the House then, and the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, didn't request it. And they had to, okay, by law, and they did not. So, once again, this shows that the FBI is incompetent. All right, now you can do a conspiracy theory and say the FBI wanted this to happen. You can do that, and many, many millions of Americans will. I will not, because I don't do that. I'm a fact-based guy. I'm telling you the FBI is incompetent. Did they use politics to go after Trump? Yes. Russian collusion. Now, maybe more things will arise here in the January 6th riot situation because they're looking into it. All right? Now, Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, is supposed to testify on July 12th. Okay? And this guy is a menace. All right? He's not just incompetent, he's a menace. So he'll show up that Wednesday in front of the House Judiciary Committee, and he'll say, I can't answer any questions because January 6th is still under investigation. That's what he'll say. And then every question you ask him, he'll say the same thing. Hunter Biden under investigation. On and on and on and on. You'll get a thing from the man. That's what he does. Okay, you know it. We've seen it. It will happen again this time. So forget about that. But as far as me, an American citizen who once admired the skill of the FBI and the dedication to protect Americans, it's all gone. It's all gone. Can you imagine sitting on information there was going to be a riot at the Capitol and not telling the president, the Pentagon, the Congress people themselves, putting them at grave risk? Can you imagine that? That's what happened. That's what happened. It is a disgrace. Now, the Justice Department is in charge of the FBI, so you understand. Merrick Garland is the boss of Christopher Wray. And Biden could fire Wray tomorrow, but he won't because Biden doesn't care about any of this. All he cares about is getting Trump, okay, and getting his son off. So there was a leak yesterday of a tape of Donald Trump at his private residence in New Jersey talking about a document that he had. The tape, audio tape, went out to the media. Who leaked it? Couldn't have been anybody else but someone inside the Justice Department at a very high level. Had to be somebody from Smith's office or Garland's office. Had to be. Nobody else had access to it. They leaked it to the press. This is the U.S. Justice Department. This is what we're looking at. So not only do we have a corrupt FBI, the whole thing's corrupt. The whole J Department's corrupt. I mean, come on. Finally, with this information coming forth from the Senate Homeland Security Committee, which is not partisan, obviously, this makes Merrick Garland and the FBI under Biden look terrible. The Trump people are buoyed. They're lifted up because you can't blame, as Smith is trying to do, the special counsel, January 6th on Trump if the FBI had the info ahead of time and didn't do anything about it. This just blows that case right out of the water. So the Trump people should be happy today and should be outraged at the leak of the tape. I'm not going to play the tape because I'm not trying this on TV. I don't know the context of this tape. It's just audio. Okay, I don't know it. I'm not going to play it. I'm not trying the Trump stuff on television. It's ridiculous. And it's against the law to do what the media did. Play a tape that a federal guy, Smith, the special prosecutor, is using to maybe prosecute a former president. Now, nobody's going to be charged. They won't even find out who did the leak. They couldn't even find out the Supreme Court leak. Another FBI extravagance. Oh, the FBI, no, the marshals did it. Come on. The FBI should have been on that Supreme Court leak like that. They don't want any part of it. They didn't want to find out. Awful. And that's a memo. All right, here's Biden's schedule. He does nothing today. He doesn't do any of the people's business. He campaigns in Chevy Chase, Maryland. That's all he does. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. We got mutiny in Russia. We got prices going through the roof. Gas prices up again. We got problems everywhere on the social front. We got fentanyl. And he doesn't do anything every day. I give you a schedule every day. What does he do? Nothing. Yesterday, you know what he did? He had lunch with Kamala. Today, he's out in Chevy Chase raising money. Come on. You know? Jeez. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. If booking your timeshare has been difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible lately. Most clients are shocked to learn that their timeshare is now available to the public, severely limiting booking options. Many owners are upset their yearly dues have nearly doubled during this maintenance fee season. For well over a decade, this family-owned company has had the pleasure of helping more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare fees. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and more than 900 5-star testimonials, Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. So please call my friends today for a free, no-obligation consultation at 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. Okay, here is the mail. Carol, concierge member, surge in concierge membership. As I said yesterday, please, it'll enhance your life. It'll give you an insurance policy. BillO'Reilly.com, concierge membership. Carol says, excellent reporting on Bill Barr, Joe Biden, and the Biden crime family. This is Carol. Yet I still can't comprehend why politicians and the legacy media continue to support the Biden crime family, because ideology is more important. Joe Biden does whatever the progressive left wants. They don't care if he's Al Capone. They don't care if he's Pretty Boy Floyd. As long as he supports progressives, they'll support him. David, concierge member, what's even more astonishing, the NBC poll about the direction of the country, is that NBC favors the Biden administration. Again, it's all ideology. Their executives are far left guys. Comcast, Philadelphia. Look it up. They love it. They love the far left. Lucinda Callis, Richmond, Virginia. Bravo, Bill. Your latest column, They're Not Victims, nothing short of stunning. I commend your personal integrity and strength in writing it. As always, thank you for being the very best of a few who are willing to be stand-up, honest human beings. I will tell the truth. I always have. And, I paid a price, but it's okay. Alan, concierge member. A lot of concierge members writing in. Bill, well said on your column. While I have empathy for people down on their luck, I can't agree that people raising a family and working should have to suffer because a small minority refuse to take personal responsibility. Good letter, Alan. Thank you for writing it. Richard Catalano, Gates Mills, Ohio. Bill, I read your message about Putin. His demise does not guarantee a better leader in Russia or in the world. So what? So what? He's a war criminal. He's a villain. You don't go, well, what's going to happen next? You get rid of him. Mary Mallow, Rothschild, Wisconsin. I sure would love to see Condoleezza Rice run as Trump's vice president. That will never happen. Ms. Rice, Dr. Rice, is very close to the Bush family, and you know the history with Trump and the Bushes, so it would never happen. David Cash, St. Augustine, Florida. Residents are leaving California in large numbers. Couldn't this eventually cause California to lose congressional seats? Already has. 2020, they lost a seat, and they're going to lose another one. 2 down. Pat and Ken Arrington, Owens Crossroads, Alabama. Concierge members here, thank you for your recent reply to my request for a surprise shout-out to my husband Ken for our 50th wedding anniversary this week. Pat and Ken Arrington, 50 years together. Congratulations. Okay, the Mail Summer Reading Program. I hope you're on it. Lots of folks are. You get Killing the Mob. I mentioned it. Killing the Killers, Killing the Legends. I'm sorry, it's Killing Crazy Horse. Killing the Killers and Killing the Legends. All three, and a Team Normal hat, $32.95. Need the hat, keep the sun out of your eyes while you're reading. Listen, if you're traveling, if you're on the beach, if you're in the mountains, if you're at the lake, you want to have a good book. A fun book where you'll learn something. There you go. Summer reading special. And Killing the Mob, you can get that. I think we still have that 2 books for $18. Yes, Killing the Legends and Killing the Mob together, $18. Word of the day, do not be an enigma. E-N-I-G-M-A, enigma. Don't be one. Back with a final thought in a moment. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Okay, here is the final thought of the day. I worked very hard on Killing the Witches, which comes out on September 26th. Subtitle is The Horror of Salem, Massachusetts. Difficult book to write. So we took the bigger view on it. Yes, we run down the 20 witches that were executed by the insane government of Salem. And it's brutal. It's horrible. Kids turning against their parents. It's awful. But there was a much wider problem, okay, that came out of that. And it has to do with the Constitution and how we live today. So we get into that. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Patrick Henry, all those people. Okay. But before we get to Salem, I put you on the Mayflower, okay, for the ride over, which was harrowing. Oh, now, unbelievable records exist of both the Mayflower voyage and the witch hunt and executions in Salem. Those records still exist because everything was written down. It's not taught in schools. So Cindy Adams, who is a fan of mine and has read all the Killing books, she does a piece today, a very nice piece in the New York Post. And, she liked the book and was asking me about the difference between witches and ghosts and all of that stuff. And I was explaining it because the last part of the book is modern times of Killing the Witches. And what witchcraft is, in the minds of the Puritan religious fanatics who drove all this, is that a person, doesn't have to be a woman, by the way, there were men executed as witches, enters into an agreement with the devil, the devil's bargain. They have an agreement. They sign the devil's book. I know, but where do you see it? So it's not that you are a ghost you can be friendly, look at Casper. It's not that. A witch is in concert with Satan, who the Puritans, the Catholics, most Protestant sects, Islam, I'm not sure about Judaism, but they believe, all those religions, that Satan is a presence in this world. So the witches are helping him. That's the basis of it. But I wanted to get into modern times because devil possession went wild after The Exorcist book and movie. And not many people know how that came about. It's almost as harrowing as the Salem witch trials. So the third part of Killing the Witches is about The Exorcist. It's based on a real occurrence, a 13-year-old boy in Maryland. The writer, William Peter Blatty, changed the boy to a girl in the book and the movie. But the real case, and again, records of everything that took place are there because the Jesuits were in charge of the exorcism on this boy, and the hospitals where this boy visited, they kept the records too. But we have it all. And you will not believe it. I'm not going to tell you what happened here, but the filming of that movie in 1972, William Friedkin, the director, he did The French Connection, won the Best Picture. He signed on to do The Exorcist. He didn't have any faith in anything. I don't know if he's an atheist, but he wasn't a believer. And most of the cast didn't believe anything. Where do you see what happened? Well, they were filming that movie. Now, some people say, oh, it was Hollywood hype. They put all this stuff out. 8 people died during the filming of the movie. You can't hype that. They're dead, including 2 actors. It's just, so when I'm writing and we're researching this book, we're going, nobody's going to believe this. So I had to back it up 50 different ways. And I did. We did. Martin Dugard and I. So again, Killing the Witches. Thank you, Cindy Adams. Nice piece in the New York Post today. Out September 26th. You can order in advance, BillO'Reilly.com. You'll get it first. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all of that. But you're going to want to read this book. I hope. And the devil's not going to make you do it. Thanks for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.